has Ninani wewe tu Ninawera double K Mwalimu panda.
My darlings, how are you all doing? I hope you're doing fantastic and welcome back to our third episode where we're going to look onto something we call self-concept. Our last episode, the second one we did about self-image. If you've not watched that video, please go back to it. Go and watch it first before you come to self-concept, because I think self-image, whatever I talked about self-image is very more important, so that you can be able to kind of like really get, what I'm really talking about when I'm talking about self-concept. So darling, today we're going to look at self-concept in terms of building your personal brand. And before I even start, I want to give an example of what exactly is self-concept. It's the mental and emotional framework that defines who you believe you are, and obviously what you believe you're capable of. It's not what others think of you. It's your internal identity map. That's what self-concept is all about, and it's very crucial when you're building our personal brand. It's going to influence so many things in your brand system, or in your brand structure. It's going to kind of like influence your decisions, every reaction, and every way you show up in the world, including your brand. So simply, self-concept, I'd say, is the sum of your beliefs, your perceptions, and the stories about yourself. It's the I am that precedes every action. If your self-concept says I am powerful and purposeful, you act accordingly. If your self-concept says I am a leader, you're going to find yourself into leadership zones. You're not going to be very scared. You're not afraid of moving out of your comfort zones. If it says I'm not enough, obviously you're going to shrink before you even start. You'll have a low self-esteem, and obviously you're going to hide yourself. As much as you might be a creative person, you might have lots of talents and skills within you, but you do not want visibility whatsoever. So, and I think I would talk about now uh, the core components of self-concept. Actually, I call them the three layers of self-concept, which include self-image, and that is how you see yourself now currently. We have the self-esteem, it's how much you value yourself, and we have the ideal self, it's about who you aspire to be, your future self. And let me talk briefly about your self-image, but we talked about it, yeah, on the second episode. So self-image, it's about how you see yourself, the picture in your mind of what kind of person that you are, what you're capable to do. It's more built on experiences, memories, upbringings, and even self-perception. Example, I'd say I see myself as a creative person, so you naturally create. But if I see myself as disorganized, you resist leadership roles. So this is the visible layer of your self-concept. That's why I said go and watch the episode of self-image. You will understand that much more better. So let's talk about the second layer, which is the self-esteem. And I've said it's about how much you value yourself. Your sense of worth and deservingness. Do you feel worthy? Do you feel deserving, even when opportunities comes in? So it answers the question, am I enough? Do I feel good enough? Do I feel like, whatever opportunity that was presented, did I feel like I deserve it? And when you have high self-esteem, you have confidence and you have resilience, you have boldness when it comes to branding. When you have self-esteem, low self-esteem, do have a fear of judgment. You're so scared of what other people are going to say or think about your brand. You will deal with lots of procrastination and also self-sabotage. And that's going to affect your personal brand. So in personal branding, your self-esteem determines how confident you charge for your work. Some people do undervalue themselves quite a lot. So you show your face online and with your own message when you do have a quite high self-esteem. But when you do not have a high self-esteem, you struggle with self-esteem, you're going to always undervalue yourself. You'll be so scared to even, tap into your visibility and even in opportunities that you're going to that are going to present that are going to be presented on your end. So the third layer, it's the ideal self. Who do you aspire to be? So the person you dream of becoming, do you even see that person when you close your eyes? And this is the future brand identity you're growing into. We're not building a brand that we just, this is Jerry, this is who I am now, and this is what I aspire to become. No, there is something else bigger that I'm thinking of, that I wanna reach out to. So the gap between who you are now and who you aspire to be, it's going to create a drive. But if it's too wide, it's going to create frustrations. So your goal is alignment and balancing. So closing the gap between current you and ideal you. So, and this is about, like your ideal self is the version of you, your brand is becoming. So it's you and your brand, who you're going to become. And you must believe in her before everyone or even anyone else does. You have to believe, you have to have so much belief and faith in you and your future you that you want to become. And this is very, very crucial, because you cannot just talk about how you want to be somebody, but you cannot even explain the kind of a person that you want to become, the kind of goals that you want to achieve, or you want to start, acting onto, so that you can, reach to your ideal self. So it's very crucial when it comes to personal branding. You have to see that person. You have to know, what exactly does she do? So how is her routine? How does she operate? Is she a confident person? Stuff like that. So the formula of a self-concept, it's a self-concept, who is a self-image. The formula now is the self-image, self-esteem, and ideal self. So this is more like a living identity system that is constantly evolving. So you're always growing, you're always elevating. You're not staying in a standard level. You're always going higher. And in every new experience, win or even a failure, it's going to reshape your concept of self all the time. So a healthy concept stays flexible. You have to be very much willing as well to fail so that you can learn. So it grows with you. And I'm not saying that your self concept has to be so like you don't want to grow. You just want to be. You're so comfortable with who you are, and as much as there is some type of like failures that comes in, or even like some blockages, you're not willing to learn. No, that's not what a healthy self-concept is all about. A healthy self-concept has to be very much willing to win and fail at the same time, so that you can have that balancing. And that's how growth comes about. So let's talk about the role of self-concept in personal branding. One, it's alignment, which equals authenticity. So your personal brand feels real only when your inner identity, your inner self, aligns with your outer expressions. If you're preaching confidence but feeling unworthy inside you, your audience sees the misalignment. Your clients, your wherever you are, whatever field that you are, they're gonna feel that misalignment. So the other role is expansion, which equals to growth. As your self-concept expands, your brand evolves naturally. So the more depth, the more authority, more authenticity brings, a rebirth of, a new self-concept in personal branding. So there is also something called restrictions, which equals to brand stagnation. So if your self-concept is feeling quite limited, your brand can't grow beyond your internal belief system. So you will attract opportunities that match your self concept, not your potential. So you have to work on your self concept so that you can attract the opportunities that are going to meet your potential. So let me now talk about the self concept in action and in real life, right? and I'll touch about a little bit. So let's look at someone like Oprah Winfrey. So her self-concept isn't TV or even magazine. Although she's there, she's always there. Her self-concept is more of a healer, of a storyteller, of a bridge builder. That's why her brand is going to transit or has transited television. So it has become a movement. So I think that's how you have to see yourself. It's not about something that you're building and you want to be on social media, you want to be famous, you want to be in that. No, you have to have um, you have to have an idea of that it's not just about building a brand but having a movement that's you're gonna pass it from this generation to the next one, and with that you're going to win in life, right? So with Oprah, she didn't like brand herself as a job title like most of us do, but she branded herself as her core identity. So that's her calling. You have to start tapping into your calling. And let's look at the reflection exercise. I think we can work on so that we build a personal brand that's strong and that's going to lead us to our potential. So you have to ask yourself, who do I believe I am when no one is watching me, and who do I believe I deserve? What do I believe I deserve? Who am I becoming? And what would that version of me stop tolerating today? What am I willing to leave? A lot of us are not willing to leave some habits behind. But let me tell you, if you want to build a new self concept when it comes to personal branding, there's so many things that you have to do. You have to stop laziness, procrastination, and all that, and even fear. You have to start, building confidence in you and feeling worthy and feeling deserving. Whatever field you want to be, whatever brand you're building, those are the key things that you need to work on. So, you need to write your answers in more like in a journal. I'd say that we need to journal a lot because it builds more like an emotional connection with your brand. So you don't build a brand by creating a fake image, you build it by expanding your self concept until your brand, becomes a natural kind of like a reflection of who you truly are and who you truly believe that you should be. And your brand is your self concept in motion. So if you upgrade your inner story, your outer results will always follow. And you will not feel hindered or even feel stagnant whatsoever. Even if sometimes you get, those moments where we feel stagnant, obviously you're going to go back to your routine. Like I say, daily routines are very important. So you can meditate, you can do that, and then so that you can go back to, creating the very best version of you. So I think let me talk about the self-concept triangle framework, because that's what you're supposed to think about now, and so that how you can start building it. So think of your self concept as a triangle, right? So in every side, you must stay strong and balanced for your personal brand identity to stand firm. At the center of the triangle is your personal brand, and it's fed and shaped by the three sides below, which is self image, how I see myself. You need to position on a triangle, on the left side, the questions you can bring in, it's who am I right now. Focus on identity and perception. So for example, you can say I am creative, or you think that I'm not good at speaking. So the main thing here is that your self-image is going to set your visible confidence. When you upgrade how you see yourself, your brand identity will be seen and felt differently. And the general prompt to deal with here, it's what words describe like how I currently see myself, and are they serving my brand? The second triangle, it's about self-esteem, how much I value myself. So what am I worth? And the focus is what it's worth value and self-respect. A lot of us do not respect ourselves. That's why a lot of people don't respect us back. So you have to work on that. So the key thing to think about is do I deserve success? Yeah, probably. Do you think probably you're not ready yet? It's up to you to answer those questions. So the main key thing here is to determine your pricing, your tone, and even your energy online. If you're dealing with low self-esteem, or it shows up, You're going to be more of like over apologizing, kind of like undercharging, like I say. Self-esteem, low self-esteem is going to show up as, high self-esteem, sorry, is going to show up as high authority and calm confidence. And the general prompt would be, where am I undervaluing myself? And how can I start showing up as if I am already worthy of all the opportunities that are going to be coming on my way? So let's look on the other triangle, which is the base, who I aspire to be. And who am I becoming? That's the main question. So you need to focus on vision, aspiration, and growth. So you need to think about, what is your I am map here? So probably someone can say, I am a global thought leader, or someone else might think about, I am a voice of hope. So the key thing here is that your brand vision is built from this image of your future self. So the vision of your brand that you have is going to be built out of your future self. So when you act from that vision, now your brand is going to evolve more faster. And the journal prompt to go with here is about, if my ideal self was running my brand today, what would she be doing, or what would he be doing differently? So I think that would be an amazing thing to work on if you're really thinking about, building a powerful and a firm personal. If you need to build a brand that is going to stand firm. So the center of personal brand identity, it's more about, when all these three sides align, your brand is going to become authentic, confident, and even magnetic. But when one side is a bit weak, your brand just loses the balance. You need to so you need to think about, probably, if you have a strong self-image but a low self-esteem, that's going to be, loud but also quiet confidence. So you need, everything has to be in balance all the time. So I think that is a good thing that you can work onto and see how to move from there. So, my darlings, I would say that your brand will never rise higher than your self concept whatsoever. So it's very important to work on your self image and your self concept. And when you believe that you are powerful and capable and worthy, the world will start to respond to that belief. But also remember, you don't need to create a new version of yourself. You need just to return to who you were, or who you think you were, before the world told you of who you couldn't be. So you have to silence all the noises that you had about yourself and start going back within yourself. Build your brand from that truth, because authenticity, darling, isn't built, it's remembered. And thank you so much for, having to sit down and, walk with me in this journey of the series of personal branding. And until next time, we'll see you on our fourth episode. So thank you so much, my darlings. And don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching me for the very first time. And see ya.